All right, I think we are live. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Fox to Fox Report, and welcome to the pre and post match review. Post match review for the match against Leeds, and the pre match review for our next match that will be under 48 hours against Wolves over at the Molineux Stadium. But first off, I have to say, come on, Leicester. We just performed great. It worked. We didn't have the nicest performance, but we just, struggled at times. We gave it our best and we fought really, really hard. And that's what matters. 3 points. We go up in the table. And just looking at that table right now, we are in 19th place with 8 points. Almost getting out of that 10-point range, almost out of there, just 1 point away from safety. Now, Wolves dropped down to 18th. Southampton, I want them to lose or draw against Bournemouth, but they won and they're out of here. They're somewhere, I think, 14th place or 13th place, and Everton takes over that 15th place, coming back down to, I don't know, they might go into relegation zone, depending on if they win or lose their matches. But yes, this is the table for now. Road to safety is here, just 1 point away. Can we get out of that relegation zone this weekend against Wolves? Of course, let me know. Put it all in the chat below. So first, going over to the comments. Leicester fan, how we doing, man? Hope they like the match. Very, very, very impressive match from everyone. What else? Let me see. Yes. So analyzing yesterday's victory. So from what we knew was that Madison wasn't playing. What was going to be the change? Who was going to come in? Was it going to be either Dennis Pratt or Kelechi Iheanacho, perhaps Ayoze Perez? And we all can say that Brendan Rodgers went with the right direction, the right choice, and that was to put in Dennis Pratt on that right wing spot. And what a job he did. So first, going over to Rodgers' starting lineup and formation from what we saw yesterday, and that goes with a 4-1-4-1. Of course, the substitution there is for Madison in for Dennis Pratt, coming on that right wing spot. And of course, also Vardy taking that striker role. Now, with that in mind, there were some, questions being asked whether Vardy or Patson, whoever should start. But I think it's the right choice, given the fact that we have so many games, all these 2 games within 48 hours apart from each other. So we can't gas out just one player like Daka and make him play and start, the match against Leeds and this coming match against Wolves. Leicester fan. Oh, I'm from the US. So yeah, so completely different time zone here. Right now it's 4:07 p.m. my time. I'm pretty sure it's 5 hours in the UK. No, do not even. Hey Jeff, what are your thoughts? I'll get to that. But yes, just going over to that starting lineup that we had with Brendan Rodgers yesterday against Leeds. It was pretty much, what we all expected, what we all wanted to see. Pratt needed to come in. I said Kelechi Iheanacho wasn't one to, if he were to start the right wing, to really come back and help out like Pratt did at times. Kelechi Iheanacho is more someone who will stay in that right wing position, perhaps assist up top, but not really, come back and play that right wing role correctly. So great start from Brendan Rodgers. I thought it was a perfect change to put in Pratt. But we have to say the first 5 minutes of that match, scary. We had no control, no possession. I was like, what's going to happen? I think Leeds are about to score. Pure on pressure. And we know what Leeds is about. Pure pressure, nonstop running. But then, they were so eager to attack and it left so much open space behind. And just we properly, we were able to read that and just securely just press, get the ball. We had Dennis Pratt assisting that first goal by causing the press, goes to Vardy. He sees Pratt, make that run. And then thankfully, we have that Leeds defender doing that own goal. But yes, in my opinion, Dennis Pratt is my man of the match. He worked his role very well. Right wing, being very firm, not the tallest player, you could say, but still being very strong, fighting till that last minute, making sure the ball does not go out and just crossing that ball in. A lot of just great things for Dennis Pratt, and certainly goes very, very underrated. I think he's a very important player. Now, the question whether he should be a starter compared to Madison, that's a different discussion. I think Pratt has some great involvement and certainly can be used in the second half. And that's, like I said, that's just a different discussion as far as whether Pratt should be staying on this team. I think Pratt wants to perhaps play more games and be a starter, but I don't know if that is the right direction, counting, ourselves, the whole club itself, if that's the right step to go. But no, Dennis Pratt is a very, very important player. And we all saw that yesterday. Jaden, Barnes, whenever he sees Leeds, be like, goal incoming. Exactly. That is what I'm saying. And just right here, Barnes, Leeds, who's better. Harvey Barnes, our number 7. And let me just get that jersey for you. Right here, Barnes back on that score sheet. I think it's now 6 goals in the last 4 matches that we played against Leeds. That's going back 2 seasons ago. So yeah, Barnes back in the score sheet, definitely picking up that confidence. After that goal, taking on players, linking up with James Justin, like it was just amazing. But also, sorry, I think my thing's cutting out. All right. But also Castagna playing a very important role on the right side, linking up with Dennis Pratt, giving him those through balls. And what a through ball for that second goal. Like I said, there's just some connection between these players, the Belgian players, which is why I say Castagna Pratt equals that Belgian connection. Great to see that. Let's go back into the comments. What we have V1 the creator, still not confident, but really, really happy with Fast. Yes, of course we got to take game by game. We all just can't, jump boat and be like, we're going to win our next couple of matches now. No, we have to take it. We had some, some things we had to work on from this match against Leeds, like defensively with the crosses and also not tracking back. But yes, it's just game by game. We analyze, see what we can improve on, and bring that onto the next match. But, we just, like I said, 3 points, important, great. Turn the page now. Now we go on into Wolves. And yes, everyone was impressed with Pratt. Without a doubt, he is a very, very important player. And, you cannot replace Madison. Madison is a very distinct player. Different qualities will begin play, will, bring the ball up. And yes, so many things that just differentiate Madison to other players on the team, but he did his job perfectly, Dennis Pratt. And then with Leeds, they just lost it after the second goal, giving the ball away so easily, so cheaply, and just, these long balls that sometimes never got to their players, these shots just out of nowhere. And yeah, Leeds just couldn't really do anything. We have a comment from LCFC. Matt, have you noticed the only games we've won this season, Forest, Leeds, Stockport, have hidden the night? Yeah, honestly, if you ask me, I thought Leeds before this match was going to be the hardest match compared to Bournemouth, compared to Crystal Palace, because looking at that match they had against Arsenal last weekend, very impressive there. Just a 1-0 defeat, but yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. I don't know what to expect, but we came out, we just performed, we read their plays, we read the pressure they had on us, and we scored. Very, very surprise performance from them, from the whole team. And yeah, also with some changes too from Leeds, like Jack Harrison wasn't starting, Rodrigo wasn't starting, quality players for them. So perhaps that helped us out a bit. I know with the second half coming about, we saw Leeds make those changes for Jack Harrison, for Rodrigo, but still couldn't do anything. But yeah, thankfully we were able to read Leeds' play. We didn't freak out. We didn't go crazy because they were giving us so much pressure within those first 5 minutes. So yeah, great mentality, great way to just focus and then just get on with the ball, play smart, and then you see those opportunities go about. but just what unselfishness with that second goal. Pratt goes to Vardy, he goes to KDH, and typically those opportunities, see KDH, did he have a chance to shoot? Would he have shot? Knowing KDH, probably, but he saw Harvey Barnes completely open. And like I said, what an unselfish way to give the ball to Harvey Barnes. And then just boom, middle through Mignolet's legs to make it 2-0. My biggest concern is that the intermittent wins are giving the board too much confidence on Rodgers. Yes. As much as, we had our past, opinions, whether Rodgers should be out, whether he should be in, I think this victory itself is just, leaning that away, with the whole Rodgers leaving. I think just this gives him much more support from the board. It's just one of those things that could go either way, whether, we like it or not. But right now we're winning. And that's the only thing that we want. We want to win, get those points. And once we get to safety, far off from ever being back in that relegation zone, then we can think about whether Rodgers should leave or not. But, as we're winning, that's what we want to see. Points, boom. Oscar, what's going on? What do you make of Lookman's performance at Atalanta? Not the channel to be talking about Atalanta, but Lookman is just outstanding. A player that has not been, or that has been just outstanding in Atalanta, and we couldn't afford him, unfortunately. And just who knows where we would be now if we had him on this team right now. But that's just, I don't know. Vardy, Faz, underrated beast. Of course, with Foss on the pitch, even though Johnny Evans is not playing, I think if it were to be Soyuncu and Amartey in that back line, we would have a huge, huge struggle. Fast is just dominating, controlling that back line, directing Amartey, Justin, Castagna, and we have great control in that back line. And that goes to right here, defensive improving by a long shot. But the question now is set piece defending. Have we mastered it? I don't know, but I was telling Neil on Beyond the 90 LCFC. If you haven't checked out his channel, please check it out. On his channel, I went on for their post-match review for this match against Leeds, where I said, the fact that we've let in so many goals off set pieces, when we see a set piece, live, we have that just engraved feeling of just pure nervousness. Is it going to go in? Will we defend it or not? But yes, in this match against Leeds, we defended those set pieces. Great defensive. We're in the right spot, in the right time, heading the ball out. So I think it's just been a massive, massive improvement for those set pieces. AJ, yes, did he? Here Schmeichel set to leave Nice in January. I did hear about that. Will he come back to Leicester? I don't know. I think that those are just some rumors. Would we want to, bring him back? Not sure. But what are your thoughts on Danny Ward? A player who just has been, getting clean sheets. I think it's our third clean sheet now of the season, 2 back-to-back. What are your thoughts on that? I think Danny Ward is getting much more comfortable, definitely jumping out during those corners, getting the ball, just holding it, and then waiting to give it off to our attackers. But yeah, Danny Ward is improving. We can't say he's at the level of Schmeichel, maybe could possibly get there, but we go game by game. But the things that need improvement, I was telling this with Neil. Neil actually told me about this, was that Castagna, though he's playing great as a right back when it comes to attacking, defensively, Castagna hasn't been that tight with securing his area, which goes to the wing backs need improvement defensively. Now, going with the Wolves, they have Adama Traore. They have a lot of, talented players, skillful players that like to take on, those wings. So Justin and Castagna have to be on alert, on their toes, and make sure they do not slip up and give him so much space to Wolves wingers, especially Adama Traore. Fast, pacey, strength. He puts like baby oil on his arms. Like we have to look out for that and just those crosses. But I'll leave that for the pre-match review against Wolves, which I'll be talking about that later on in this video. But yeah, going more so into other things that need to be improved on. We need to finish those free giveaways. So many giveaways from Leeds where we just kind of felt kind of too cocky, kind of too just, whatever. Let's try and see if we can, make a perfect, great play out of it and just try to fancy a little bit. No, we have to secure those free giveaways. We had Daka. I think it was a ball given away by Rodrigo to Daka, and he sees Dennis Pratt on the right side. He needed to pass that just a little bit harder. I know Dennis Pratt is a left-footed player, but that was so near the goal, so close that it didn't even matter whether you're left foot or right foot. Just give a good pass next to the goal, right foot, just, bomb it in. But yeah, these opportunities that, are given to us, we have to take advantage of them, because if we don't, typically the other side, the other team will get the advantage and they will make those goals. So yeah, just a rule of thumb, make those chances, any free giveaway, just finish it. But going into concluding this match, 2-0 win against Leeds. Like I said, with Harvey Barnes, feeling more confident after that goal. And there's been many times where Barnes has had a great game. And I always say this, it just hasn't been consistent. It's always, he played great. Then the next match, not so great. But hopefully this one is the starting point where we see Harvey Barnes from back in 2019, 2020, taking on players. Every single ball he has, an 85% chance to goal. We want to see that Harvey Barnes. So like I said, hopefully this now is the starting point to just greater things for Harvey Barnes. Going on into the channel, we have the chats. This is like an issue from previous seasons, but we have such a hard time making the right decisions in the final third. Yes, I think we overthink it. Sometimes it's just an easy cross. It doesn't matter whether it's going to go to the player or not, but just cross the ball in if there literally is no option. Sometimes we just dribble the ball in, try to take on the player. Next thing you know, we get the ball taken away. We have so many people pressed up too high, and we have no one in the back, and it's just a 4v2, counterattack from the oppositions. So yes, that's a great point. Yes, we all know that Barnes played well against Leeds. I think now 6 goals against Leeds in the past 4 matches that we had against them. So no, I think 5 matches now. So yeah, 5 matches after yesterday's match. So yeah, 6 goals for Harvey Barnes. Pretty impressive. Barnes definitely owns Leeds at the moment. But yeah, a very impressive win. Kelechi Iheanacho, what is his role in the squad? Because I'm beginning to think, Kelechi Iheanacho, I thought was going to come in for Dennis Pratt on the right wing, but Rodgers went for Ayoze Perez to take that right wing role, which I didn't think he'd do much. He didn't do anything really, Ayoze Perez. But when Kelechi Iheanacho came on, you did see much more movement by him. He had more touches on the ball and just causing much more impact in the attack rather than Perez. There's right now there's that switch between Vardy and Daka up top. So I think the role of Kelechi Iheanacho is coming on, second half. He's already done this for the past 3 matches where he comes on the last 10 minutes. I think he should come on a little earlier than that. But Kelechi Iheanacho perhaps will probably be that, super sub to take that right wing role. Also, guys, what are your thoughts on the Samori Mendy change? Because Samori in the past 2 matches has gotten yellow cards, and perhaps maybe that's the reason why Rodgers has switched him out for Mendy. Or, is that a good change overall? I think Mendy does perfectly well in the defensive midfield spot. Definitely should come on second half, to secure much more of our back line. But Samori, without a doubt, is our first string defensive midfielder. Not only does he defend, has pace, had a great chance in the attack. If you guys remember that on the right side where he just took on, I think, 4-3 Leeds players all the way into their box. Yeah, so pretty impressive. That attacking side of Samori is slowly getting there. Hopefully he will be, that dual defensive midfielder, attacker, and perhaps even score a goal. But yes, incredible speed, incredible pace, great performance by Samori, in my opinion. And how's it going, man? Mendy helped keep the ball more good, change from Brendan. Yes, like I said, yep. Mendy's a great player, smart, not risky. If anything, I think Ayoze Perez gave so many risky balls to Mendy. I think one risky ball when he came on, Perez. But yeah, Mendy is a great player. I think he's smart. I think he knows when to pass, when not to pass, when to take a player on. So yeah, good point. Good point. Now, guys, Vardy's performance 1 out of 10. Now, when we saw Vardy come off in the second half, he didn't really look too happy, certainly because he didn't score. But I think his presence, his style, what he does, how he helps out in the attack is duly noted and definitely very helpful. I give him an 8 out of 10. If he scored a goal, it would have been a 10 out of 10. But other than that, 8 out of 10. Very important player, has been with the team for who knows how long and already knows how to read our system. Something Daka is getting close to. Not there yet, but certainly, without in no time. Okay. Yeah, the creator Samora reminds me of Zaka. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see who he will be, who he will play like. Some people say Yaya Toure, but I don't know. I definitely see him as someone who is going to have at times take on players, be part of the attack, who knows, bring it all the way from our side to the other and perhaps score. But we'll see. Improvement is definitely being noticed from Samore. And anything else we see? All right. Well, that concludes the post-match review against Leeds. Like I said, great victory, 3 points. Just going back over to the table, like I said, we are in 19th place. Let me just remove that. So yeah, we're in 19th place with 8 points. Wolves have 9, just 1 point away from safety. And of course, Nottingham Forest are back down in last place, 2 points behind us. Everton join that 15th place spot. Leeds and Villa. Steven Gerrard. Did you guys hear the fact that he was sacked before he even went on the bus back with Villa? Like, that must have been an awkward bus ride. But yeah, now it's on to bring on the Wolves. Here we go. Are we ready to take on Wolves this coming Sunday at the Molineux Stadium? A place playing away against Wolves. We haven't done so. We haven't won since 2006, a league season match. Crazy how that sounds. But yes, let me just show you guys 1 minute. All right, right here. So if you see here, just going off from the history right here, the last match, of course, was a 2-1 loss over at the Molineux Stadium, but playing Wolves away, we have not won a league match. We won a League Cup match over at the Molineux Stadium, I think on PKs, because it right here it says 0-0. But a League Cup match or a league season match since December 2006. Crazy how that, comes about. So, based on history, we haven't won in almost 20 years. More than 15, but yeah, crazy thing about. But what are your thoughts about that? Can we win at the Molineux Stadium? Do we have the momentum? Do we have the energy, the confidence to come about and play just perfectly well like we played against Leeds onto the Molineux Stadium? And like I said before, our last encounter away was a 2-1 loss where we had possession, we had control. We could have won, but we just didn't finish correctly. And it was a very, wet pitch. Ball was just skipping. And then just a heated moment with Wolves. Lookman heating things up with Potence. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was a foul on Lookman, and then the play was dead. Potence just beams the ball at Lookman, and the Lookman, wasting no time, goes over to Potence and tells him, what's up. And I think I remember that match, looking at that moment, that intervention with Lookman and Potence, I was like, damn, I hate Wolves and we have to beat them. I hope we beat them. And then 2 minutes after Lookman scores, I think it was a cross by Albrighton into the center. Lookman was literally in the middle of the goal to just dink it in. And yeah, we had a match 1-1. But unfortunately, it went off into Potence scoring in the second half. And then we lose 2-1. But yeah, a lot of things that, I want to say about Wolves. We'll have to see. Ant, what you say? No, we were awful away. Never win the Wolves. Yeah. You said it. Exactly. But we also have to know that Wolves, very skillful in the midfield. Their midfielders, they may not be tall, but they're very quick on the feet, looking for those open spaces. And should we perhaps, strengthen our defense, changing formations? 4-2-3-1 perhaps, because frankly, on the sides, like I said, with Castagna and Justin, though they are great attacking, defensively, they have their disadvantages. So what do you guys think? I think the 4-1-4-1 may work, perhaps. It has been working defensively wise, but I don't know. What do you guys think? And certainly, Adama Traore, speed, strength will be present. Like that is something that is just without a doubt going to be seen, going to perhaps rub like 2 bottles of baby oil on himself so that Justin cannot, get an arm on him. But yeah, I don't know about that. Also, new addition to their attacking lineup, and that is Diego Costa. Will we see a Vardy versus Costa round 2? Let me guys know. And of course, do you guys remember the last time there was an encounter between Vardy and Costa? You guys see it here. I remember that match. Vardy just like, we were just not having control of the ball, and Vardy just had to go in, intervene, and slide tackle and just try to, kill that play. But yeah, what a heated moment between Vardy and Diego Costa. But defensively, speaking, Samore getting more confident playing that defensive midfield role. I feel much more confident, better than Ndidi. I said it so many times, better than Ndidi. Let me just put my light on. And yeah, the speed, the tackles. Though he's getting yellow cards, I think there's been the yellow card against Leeds he got yesterday was a good tackle. I don't think that was a reckless tackle. It was a good one to stop the play. But of course, we all know coming into this match, James Maddison is back. Back in the lineup, back our number 10, our playmaker. Will this be a huge, huge benefit for us coming forth into the Molineux Stadium? Let me know what you guys think. Let me just go ahead and put over my starting lineup. Just 1 second, guys. I was rendering this. All right. Okay, here we go. So, like I said, should we have changed the lineup of a 4-1-4-1 to a 4-2-3-1? I don't think so. I'll go with the same formation, which now goes to my formation and starting lineup, and that is, like always, the past 2 matches, 3 matches, 4-1-4-1. The inclusion of James Maddison on the right wing and Patson Daka coming back to the starting lineup. He was on the bench against Leeds, so now put him on in this match. Definitely will cause a lot of pressure for Wolves defense. Now, one thing I've noticed from their last match against was it Crystal Palace? They lost 2-1. They don't track back as far as for those through balls that Palace were giving Zaha, Eze, Olise. they never really track back. Something that we saw from Vardy against Leeds. So many times where a long ball will come in from the defense, could be from Fast, it could be from Tielemans, and you have the the Leeds defender just looking over, to see if the ball's going to go out, but Vardy just being on top of it, using his pace. If we have that against Wolves, which I have seen they've done so many times where they don't track back, we'll have a great advantage, in doing so for those type of attacks. But going into the lineup, like I said, Amartey. Thoughts about Amartey in the match against Leeds. Now coming back to this lineup against Wolves. What we heard is Johnny Evans is back, but he is not fully ready yet. I don't think it's, a player you should really risk on putting in this match so much, because you never know what could happen. You get injured, play perhaps 20 minutes, and then pull I think it was his hamstring or calf again, and then he'll be out for a longer period of time. So I think probably Amartey will be starting. He's been okay. I'm not going to say he's been great. There's been so many times where he's passed the ball back, and it's just been, you already saw. You've seen it. It's been an opportunity for the other side with Patrick Bamford. We saw in that first half. And so many things from Amartey that I wish never happened. But realistically speaking, Amartey is the one next in line. That is if Johnny Evans isn't playing. So going over to other fixtures and the results that we want coming forth this weekend. Now, let me just go over to the schedule. Let me just go ahead and share my screen now to show you the other results. Here we go all right, so Nottingham Forest and Liverpool. Of course, Liverpool have to win that match. Let them win. Everton, Crystal Palace. I say a draw or a win for Crystal Palace. Man City, Brighton, Man City, Chelsea, United, doesn't really matter. Wolves, Leicester, Wolves, gonna lose. Aston Villa, Brentford, go for Brentford. Arsenal, Southampton, Arsenal, of course. Leeds, Fulham, Fulham need to win. And honestly, Fulham have just been on a good streak so far, beating Aston Villa 3-0, even though Villa aren't that good, but still coming from the Championship into the Premier League. Great job. Tottenham, Newcastle, doesn't really matter. West Ham, Bournemouth, ideally a draw, but if, there has to be a win, it's for Bournemouth. But yeah, those are the matches for this weekend. Hopefully they all come in our favor, but of course, nothing will help us as long as we get a win at the Molineux Stadium. But yes, what are your guys' predictions for our match against Wolves? I'd say, let's see, can we get another clean sheet? I don't know, but trying to be very realistic here, trying to be very optimistic as well. I'd say a 2-1. A 2-1 victory for us at the Molineux Stadium. Let me know what you guys think about the match coming up, your thoughts on the Leeds match, predictions, your scores. Put it in the chat or just leave it in the comment section below. And of course, if you have done so already, please remember to drop a like and subscribe. And that pretty much concludes the post and pre-match review for this video. Leeds and Wolves. Let's see what happens. Like I said, we're just 1 point away from safety. If we win, just great things are to come. But thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time for the post-match review, which hopefully will be about me discussing our victory against Wolves. Fingers crossed. And one thing I gotta tell you, this jersey right here, I've only worn it twice this season. The match against Forest and the match against Leeds. 2 victories. Other matches I've been wearing this. So I don't know. Does that tell you something? But I will be wearing this for our match against Wolves. So if we win, then this jersey has some luck. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.